Hey everyone, good morning. Sunday morning, about 6:24. I was sitting here thinking while I was having my coffee, and I'm wondering, why am I alive? What is my purpose in life? Why am I here? The reason why I wonder this is because of health and accidents that I've been through in my life, and how the hell I survived all this stuff. I have no idea. Anyways, let me fix my collar here so I can look a little more presentable. Okay. Um, so started at birth. My first 9 months of my life, I spent a lot of time in the hospital with seizures, convulsions, high fevers, and after I made it through all that stuff, they actually had to lay me on ice too. I guess that's what I was told to keep my fevers down, my temperature. After that, after the first 9 months of my life, I seemed pretty healthy. I grew up, didn't have really any health problems. The first, I guess, accident or incident was in 1981. I was a freshman in high school, and this was during gym class. We were playing football. I went out for a pass. I jumped up in the air, caught my leg between some dude that fell out in front of me, and I twisted. And when I twisted, and there were about 4 or 5 guys that heard my knee pop, just busted my right knee completely. The orthopedic surgeon told my adoptive parents that he didn't know if he could save my right knee because it was so severely damaged. It took fish line and pins and all kinds of stuff to put my knee back together. But I am walking. So that was that. And 2 years later, in 1983, I had a motorcycle accident. I ran into the back end of a pickup. It was raining. I didn't see the brake lights. Went over the handlebars. And I was in my marching uniform. Yeah, I was in marching band in high school. It was after a football game. I walked away with a couple bruises, and that was it. No biggie. A year later, in 1984, I had another motorcycle accident. I was going around a bend about 85 miles an hour, and on the other side of the bend, I didn't know they just had laid down this fresh pea gravel or whatever on the street to resurface it, and I slid 350 feet on my face. Completely shredded my full face helmet, filleted my left knee wide open. I mean, it was just, they had to scrub everything and put everything back in and sew it all back up, and it was disgusting. And I broke my left arm, and the bone never grew back the way it should be. The bone grew back like this instead of like this. And I can actually sometime, when I have my arm there, I can actually pull my bone out of my socket there. Now, 2 years later, in 1986, I was in another accident. It was a car accident. Now, I wasn't driving, I was a passenger. We were going down my street. A drunk driver ran a stop sign, T-boned us. The driver of the car that I was in hit an embankment on the side of the house. The nose of the car dug in, and we flipped end over end 4 times. The driver of the car didn't even have to go to the hospital because he was held in by the steering wheel, but I flopped around the car. I woke up, there was a big huge puddle of blood underneath me. I crawled out of the window of the car, stood up, and I saw double. And they air evac'd me to the trauma center in Phoenix at Good Samaritan Hospital, where they found that I broke my skull from the back of my ear around the back of my head, punctured holes in my eardrums or my ears or something, to where as the brain fluid and spinal fluid drained out of my ears, and blood got up in my head, got infected, and I had what was called viral meningitis. It was the deadly one. They didn't think I was going to make it. They actually had a forensic photographer taking pictures of me in that room. And with the head injuries, I was so doped up. They had morphine in me, I mean, tons of it. And I was so out of it. And with, this guy is sitting here flashing this camera in my face. And I took my pee bottle and chucked it at him because I was so sensitive to the light, it hurt. And it missed him, hit the wall, splashed all over the place. I'll never forget that one. That I can remember. And you know what? I survived. I walked out of that hospital 2.5 weeks later alive. Don't know how I made that one. That was a close one. Now, moving up to the 90s, I was hospitalized a couple times with these reoccurring staph infections that happened in my left leg. And it's only in my left leg, and I don't understand why. Don't understand why. Now, after that, let's move ahead to April of 2015. April of 2015. I keep staring at my phone down here instead of looking at the camera. April of 2015, month and a half after I bought my brand new 2015 Ford Fusion, lady backs out of her driveway and wipes out the complete right side of my car. No injuries, nothing, luckily, thankfully. Go on, let's now move up to September of 2015, a few months after that. And I am in a hit and run accident in San Francisco. Guy sideswipes my car and takes out my driver's side of my car. No injuries other than when the window exploded in my face, I got some glass embedded in my eyebrow right here, and it took about 3 months or so before it started festering its way out to where I could finally get the glass out of my eyebrow. Now let's move ahead to February of 2015, or 2016, I should say. I was misdiagnosed as having gout, and it wasn't. Turns out it was a MRSA infection. I spent almost 5 days in the hospital because of it, and almost didn't walk out of the hospital again because they couldn't get the right combination or something like that of the antibiotics to take to work in me. Around the third or fourth day that I was in the hospital, they told me they found the right antibiotics. Wow. Okay, so I get out of the hospital, and 5 days after I'm out of the hospital from that infection, I'm in this last car accident, another hit and run in San Francisco, which led to all the events of why I'm in this entire position now of facing homelessness in the next 7 days, or about 7 days, no, 6 days. And just everything along with the stuff that's going on with my heart right now, my weight, and all that. You know, I need a break from this. This is ridiculous. You know, and I've had some really close calls. Do I have a purpose in life? If I do, what is it? And why? Why am I alive? I can't comprehend this. I just don't know. If any of you guys know, please tell me. I could use the answer. Because somebody upstairs, if there is not answering me. So, anyways, that's what's on my mind right now. Until I turn off the camera, then I'll start thinking about something else, and I'll have to record it and upload it. So, anyways, we will see you the next time around. Have a wonderful day, y'all.